Hey folks, last couple of videos I made, I studied, I prepared, I looked up verses, I did this and that, and I didn't do that this time, and I'll tell you why, because I feel like this is coming from the heart. I prayed about it. I've got an issue with something that I was talking to a police officer friend of mine the other day that's from one of the local towns, and he said that their normal calls had dwindled to almost nothing, but their domestic violence calls had quadrupled, and that was disturbing to me. And so I thought, well, I'm going to say something about it. I'm going to get something out there. Maybe, the way I look at these videos is if just one person, if I can help just one person, or just one person puts their head in the Bible or learns something from this, then it was well worth it. So I've pulled up a couple verses on the iPad, but I prayed about it. Mostly this is just me. And I married a woman. Naturally, I'm a man. I married a woman. And if I talk about husbands in this, I'm also talking about wives. And if I say something about him or her, I'm talking about him and her, or her and him, both. It goes both ways. It's a two-way street. I know we're in some difficult times and some weird stuff's going on that none of us have ever experienced before. And some of us, including myself, haven't worked much in a couple of weeks. Money's getting tight. Stress is getting high. But you know what? When it all falls apart, when it all goes to crap, she's the one I can depend on. She's the one that's always there. I know that my best friend is someone I can talk to, and it's my wife. And she doesn't judge me, and she shouldn't judge me. And I'll give you a verse right here. Bear with one another. And if one has a complaint against another, forgive each other, as the Lord has forgiven you. So you also must forgive. That's Colossians 3:13. I love my wife. I married my wife because I like being around her. She was standing next to me when this guy told us that about domestic violence calls. And I'll tell you what I said. I said, you know what? I married her because I like her. I like being around her. I married her because I love her. And love's not a feeling. Love is an action. For God so loved the world that he did something. He gave his only son. Love is an action. And if your wife or your husband isn't feeling the action, then you're doing something wrong. Husbands, I'll tell you straight up, just the tone of your voice can set the tone for your whole house. You can be talking and not meaning to say anything bad, but your tone of voice will make everyone in the house sit up and pay attention. And you can abuse that, and you can do it without even knowing you're doing it. Be careful. Be careful. Words bite. Words can sting. So be careful how you use your words. Wives, he's supposed to be tough. He's supposed to survive it. He's supposed to survive everything. He's supposed to be showing everyone where the strength comes from. But you know what? He's worried. He's concerned. And he needs you. He needs your support. He needs you behind him. He needs you backing him up. This is not the time. This is not the time to blame everything on her or him. This is not the time. You've got each other, and it's going to get to a point, it might get to the point to where, you know what, each other's all you've got. And you need to be looking at that. 1 Corinthians 13. Love is patient, love is kind. It doesn't envy. It does not boast. It's not proud. It does not dishonor others. That's a big one, dishonor. Everything I do, and this goes back to another video I've already done, everything I do, every decision I make, I go through the Jesus filter. I drive my 12-year-old crazy with that. But it's right. If you put Jesus first, if you think about him before you make a decision, before you spit out those words, before you raise your hand in anger, what would Jesus do? First, he comes first. Everybody else on the planet second, me third. Inside that second, my wife. My wife comes ahead of everybody. Everything I do, I think, will this honor her or dishonor her? Will it make her happy, mad, sad, glad? What will it do for her or against her? What will it do for Christ or against Christ? My wife comes ahead of everybody after Christ, and then my kids, then my grandkids, then everybody else, all you guys, everybody else on the planet. I don't know some of you. I may not ever met you, but you know what? You come first before me. I'm third. I'm last. And husbands and wives both, if you just live by that, you'll see such a great change in your life. Husbands, if you will do everything for your wife first, she'll return it to you tenfold. Trust me, I've seen it. I've been there. I was that guy. I was that guy that talked down to his wife. I was that narcissist. And boy, I tell you what, that's a disease. That's something I still fight every day. Jesus led me through it. He brought me out of it. But I tell you, it's something I still fight every single day. Love your wives. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Wives, love your husbands. This is not the time for animosity. This is not the time for problems. This is not the time to forget that you're there for each other. This is the time for unity. This is the time for it to start with the family. Because right there is what the devil's trying to do. If he can divide the family, he can divide the world. And he can conquer it. The family's where it starts. The family's where it ends. The family's where it happens. Guys, let love be genuine. Romans 12:9. Abhor what is evil. Hold fast to what is good. We love because he first loved us. 1 John 4:19. So now, faith, hope, and love abide. These three. But the greatest of these is love. Christ is love. You don't have love if you don't have Christ. You've got something else. Give your life to him. Message me. I'll talk to you. I'll give you my phone number. Love Christ. Love your wife, your husband. And run everything through a Jesus filter. And stay strong. This too shall pass. Jesus is my co-pilot. See y'all later.